do we do now? What you're going to be introduced to in this video is systems of equations. And we're going to use two methods, substitution and elimination. Okay, when you see these, they can trip you up. It's a big step from what you were doing solving single variable problems. You see an equation like so, you have two different expressions. You have y equals 2x plus 3. We have x plus y equals 13. How do we approach this problem? Take a second and think about it. What we can do is we can substitute, so sub method, we can substitute, we know what y equals. Y is right there, y equals 2x plus 3. So we can say that we can solve this equation by substituting in the y. So we can rewrite it as x plus 2x plus 3. So make sure you see what I did there. I simply made this y equal what you see above it, 2x plus 3. Then that equals 13. Alright, we combine like terms. 3x plus 3 equals 13. Subtract 3 from both sides, and we get 3x equals 10. We divide both sides by 3, and we get x equals 3 1/3. Alright, but you say to yourself, what does y equal? We didn't solve y. Well, what we're going to do is now that we know what x equals, we're going to substitute x into an equation. Okay, so let's just, and you can substitute it into either equation, so let's substitute it into this one. So now we can rewrite this equation. Sorry, I take that back. We need to substitute it into this one. So y equals 2 times, let's just write it as 10 over 3 plus 3. Plus 3. Okay, so 2 times 10 over 3 is the same as 20 over 3. So 20 over 3 plus 3. And this is the same as, so this is the same as 9 over 3. So 20 over 3 plus 9 over 3, we have 29 over 3. And we can rewrite that as y equals 29 over 3. 3 goes into it 7 times and 2 more, so we can rewrite that as 9 2/3. 9 2/3. Y equals 9 2/3. Okay, so we've solved both of these using the substitution method. X equals 3 1/3, y equals 9 2/3. And you can plug these in up here and get your solution. So let's take a look here. X plus y x plus y should equal 13. Does 3 1/3 plus 9 2/3, does that equal 13? Well, 1/3 plus 2/3 is just 1. So we have 9 plus 3 plus 1, which is 13. Okay, there's another method that we can use, and that method is elimination. Okay, so when we're doing algebra, what we have here is a linear equation. So what that means when we have a linear equation is it's two lines which are straight. These are not by any means, I'm not graphing exactly what these equations graph, but what we have here is two lines, and what I'm representing is that any two equations, well, that's almost horizontal, so let's go, when you have two linear equations, there's always a point where they intersect. So with that being known, this system has a solution, and it is that number where it intersects. That point where it intersects is the x and y solution. So what we can do is subtract one of these equations from the other to solve for a variable. So we've already organized them over one another. So what we're going to do is simply add them together. So we're going to add these two together. And the purpose of it is to zero out one of the variables. We want one of the variables to be equal to 0, and we can solve the other variable. So when we look at 3x plus negative 3x, that's equivalent to 0x. And then we add the y terms together, we get 3y. And we add the results here, 5 plus 16, which is 21. And we get 0x plus 3y equals 21. This term we can ignore. So all we need to do is divide both sides of the equation by 3, and we get y equals 7. Okay, so now that we've done that, we now know what y equals, and we can substitute it back in and use that information to solve x. So y equals 7, so we're going to take this and we're going to substitute in our y value. So 3x plus 2 times 7 equals 16. Okay, and we can rewrite that as 3x plus 14, because we multiplied 2 times 7 equals 16. We can subtract 14 from both sides, and we get 3x equals 2. We divide by 3 on both sides, and we get x equals 2/3. 2/3. So back to the example here, the intersection would be 2/3 as an ordered pair and 7. 2/3 and 7, that's where those two would intersect. Alright, let's move on to some rapid fire practice for you. These are 3 questions. Do pause the video, give them a try, and then I'll go over them with you. Okay. I hope that went well. The first problem here. Alright, we're given what y equals. We can use the substitution method. So 2x plus x plus 4 equals 10. We can combine our x's. 3x plus 4 equals 10. We can subtract 4. We're given 3x equals 6. Divide both sides by 3, and we get x equals 2. Now we know y equals x, which is 2, plus 4. Okay, so x plus 4. Let's see here. We're going to solve it in red right here. So y equals 2 plus 4. It may be obvious what this equals, but I just want to work through it with you. So we combine them, and we know that y equals 6. Okay. Let's work through the next one here. Alright, so here we're not given what y equals. We're going to have to use the elimination method. So let's set it up in such a way that x minus y equals 5, x plus y equals 15. Alright, and we are going to add those two together. So what we end up with is 2x. These two terms cancel each other out, equals, these two added together, equals 20. We divide by 2, and we get x equals 10. Alright, now we'll substitute this 10 back in there, and what we'll get is, just mark that out so you know I'm not working on that. That's 10 plus y equals 15. So we subtract 10 from both sides, and we get y equals 5. Alright, so the solution to question number 2 is x equals 10, y equals 5. Alright. So let's look at this last one. Will we need to use substitution or elimination? Looks like elimination. Okay. So we'll set it up over here. 2x plus 3y equals 3, and 4x minus 3y equals 21. All right. What we're going to do is we're going to add these two expressions together. And that's going to mean we're adding a negative. So we're adding a negative 3y. And we're going to add the results as well. So 2x plus 4x is 6x. 3y plus negative 3y cancels out, and 21 plus 3 equals 24. Okay, divide both sides by 6, and you get x equals 4. Alright, now we're gonna plug this 4 in. Let's put it in right there. We're plugging this in. And we're going to rewrite it over here as 2 times 4 plus 3y equals 3. Okay, 8 plus 3y equals 3. We subtract 8 from both sides, and we get 3y equals negative 5. Divide both sides by 3, and we get y equals negative 5 thirds. Alright, and that's your final answer. Thank you for joining me.